Good morning. This is Bernaid Flournoy. Welcome to my studio. I've sent the invite and let's see. All right. I am inviting you one day into my studio, and then this is what it looks like. All right. I'm going to click on that. And I have it set up so that I could pop right on into the studio. But when you get it, you're going to adjust your name. It could be your website, whatever your offer is, or a link that you want people to go to. And then you enter the studio. Did I hit it?
I did it the right way yesterday.
Today I forgot. So let me get this adjusted. And we are here. These are my lights. Okay. And here's another one I'm about to turn on. And there's one down on the floor. And another one over here. But I learned early that lighting is so important. Years ago, I learned lighting was important, but I didn't know how to do it. So I've gradually added more lights out here. This is Bernaid Flournoy, artist at heart, a creator at heart. I am in my studio and I am an art teacher, okay, by day. And I love painting portraits, love looking at people in all of the different skin tones and the variety of facial features and capturing their likeness. And I love paint parties. I like to paint and I like to provide positive experiences for people to go ahead and try and make mistakes, because that's what it's about. You learn from mistakes. But some of the things that we're offering kind of give you training wheels, so to speak. When you go bowling, you've got those bumpers to help guide you. So that's kind of what this is over here. So it's fine art and it's fun art, as well as just the joy of creating. Okay, this is who you get over here. Now, this is what we worked on earlier this week. Let me angle you down. Let me turn this last light on because all of this really does help. This is a cute acorn. I don't have that in there now. I will get that in my download folder for Monday's broadcast. I think we're going to go live maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to get the rhythm of it together. So this is what we painted yesterday. And we are ready to paint our apple today. I'm going to add a little bit of crayon colored pencil in there first. Let me share my screen so you could see what we have queued up. To see our, our reference picture. You may have ideas, and I have ideas, but it's nice to refer to an actual source and then bounce off of that. That's how I create over here. So let me share my screen. And I hope by now you've already joined my email list. Now, why can't I find how to share my screen? Why is stuff moving? There it is. I just didn't have it expanded enough. Got it now. So let me share. And acorn, apple, leaf. There we go. All right. So that is what we're on, as the kids say. What do you own? This is what we own right now. Is this as big as we can make it? Let's make it just a little bit larger to fill up that picture right there. So yeah, this is what we're on. This is what we did yesterday. This is what we worked on the day before. All right. So here we are. Let's scroll right on back and let's get on down to it. All right. Let's see what screen we're going to display so that you can see what we're painting a little bit better. Is this better? I think this one is. Let me remove myself so that then the paint cam will be first. There we go. So the paint cam is right up here at the top. We're going to set our leaf and our acorn to the side. Hopefully by now you've gotten your art supplies and you're just going to sketch along with us. Okay, so I'm going to set these to the side over here. And let me grab my art supplies. This is the time to go in and get these things. All right, I love me some Crayola crayons and colored pencils. I love me some Prang as well. But you know what? Sometimes you have to grab whatever you can grab and then try it out. If possible, try to stay away from the washable stuff, even though now it's much better than what it was like a decade and a half ago. Decade and a half ago, it was not good. It was just paint mixed with with soap, okay? And then it just would fuzz. Never mind. It's a little different now. So try something, and then you could always try something else. All right. Now let's get on down to it. I've got my colored pencils. I've got my crayons. I'm going to add a little bit here before let me make sure the paint cam is, you've got the full view. I'm going to add a little bit, and I'm going to stick with my reference just a bit, okay? I probably should have put a little white wax over that, and I probably will do that here in a moment. I'm going to add another light blue down here. And then you're working with something that you're familiar with. Let's see if we could twist you just one more good twist. Now this is what I'm talking about. I just wanted to cover that with a coating of white wax. Now, I may want to, and you know wax crumbs up, it peels up a little bit. I may want to get some pure beeswax, you know, like what the candles are made of. I may want to try that. Okay, so I'm going over here. This is one that's a little bit golden here. Oh, and you know what? I know that the camera is moving just a bit. So those crumbs come up, I'm just brushing them off, and we're going to keep going. So you could color these little circles or whatever, any color that you want, any. Now this is one I would like to try with acrylic. But I'm in my watercolor era. What are you working on? What are you up to? Are you doing things the same old way, or are you doing things a little bit differently? I'm going to just throw this one pink up here. All right, so I am kind of pressing kind of hard so that it will push into the paper. Now, before I start adding the paint, I want all my little wax crumbs to be off of there. And now, let's keep going. So I did a little bit of that. Maybe I'll add a little bit of something here for the leaf. Maybe I'll do a little something here. And of course, you know, with this little abstract stuff in the background, you could do whatever you want. I kind of like this. This is interesting. All right, so whatever this little abstract stuff is, and it doesn't have to be perfectly mapped out, just have a good time. Now, can I do some of this with my paint? Yes, but I just wanted you to see, get on in here, and let's see, can you even see what I'm doing? Ha! Nope, you cannot, because paint cam name is covering that up. Just get on in here. I'm referring to the reference picture. And now, these other couple dots, you could have them, you could not. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and color this one a bright green. All right, and yeah, I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll do a bright green out here. And then I'll do this one. I think this is like a red violet. Yes, it is. And now let's go ahead and throw this paint around. So take about 5 minutes. Set up your little crayons and have a good time. Let's move those out of the way. And now let's get to the paint. I'm going to take this off of the clip up here for just a moment. I'm going to go on back here. I'm going to save my apple for last. I'm going to go in the background. Give my paper a little water to drink. Now this paper is a little bit different. This is just 20-pound, what do you call it? Copy paper, computer paper. So it may not be able to handle all of the things wet. So you better press gently, but we're going to still move this along. All right. And we're just keeping this loose and free. I'm going to add a little bit more water over here. Can you see that okay? All right. So we're going to go right on in here. Go right along that stem. Take whatever water we have in this brush and go right on around here. Now, when you're at home, now see, there we go. That's that lovely crayon resist starting to happen right here. Okay, where the water beads up around the wax. All right, so here we go right here. Let's see if you could see that happening. Here we go. The water is beading up. Now, of course, that's in like a little puddle right here. Going right here. And the paper is very fragile right now because it's very, very wet. So we're going right on over here. Now I'll put that back down and keep on working. So you see that wet on wet. Now this is 8.5 by 11 paper. So you may want to put this in an 8 by 10 frame, but they do make 8.5 by 11 frames. All right, so here we go. We're just going right on over here. I could add a little black to this, and I may. Just get into it and have a good time. Okay, so it's lighter over here and it's darker over here. I kind of like that. And it's, the paper is still super wet. That's a paint booger. Let me get that out of there. So it absorbed some, and now I'm coming back so it can absorb a little bit more of the paint. Because it's really, really dark over here. And I'm just going with straight blue right now. But like I said, you could add a little bit of black. And I'm just going to take a little bit of water and get rid of the white. Using the paint that's already in the brush. And we're going on here. Right here on this corner. Now I just got a little paint on my finger. Let's get that off so we are not carrying that around. So it's going right on over here. Got a little on the apple, but you know, we're going to keep on going. It's all right. All right, so we're going right on over here. And I have more paint than water in my brush right now. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of water and work this part on up here. All right. It goes pretty fast. All right. Now I'm going to clean out some of that blue. Now I didn't spray my paint I'm just going to go in here with a little bit of this green that's in our reference. I'm going to come back down here and get a little bit of this yellow that's in our reference. Let me go get a little orange. Let me clean my brush out a little bit better. Now, let's go get a little bit of this orange and bring that on over there. That's kind of intense right here. I'm just going to go ahead and get this on my finger right here because I just like painting right to the edge, right? You can't see. Because of the paint cam word. I'm so sorry. And that's where I've been down here in this corner right here. Try not to knock that over. That's all. Nothing super fancy. Just getting rid of the white paper. And now we're getting ready to go in here for this apple, because once you kind of get a hang of how the water flows and how your paint is absorbed by the paper. Now this 20-pound is like a paper towel. Now it is so wet, so you have to be very careful. Now once it dries, then you need to add a little bit more crayon or colored pencil to it, or oil pastel. And I have some of that in here too. I have to make sure I have that out here. It's great for a resist. Now I am going to go ahead. Here are a couple of colors here that we didn't what do you call it? Color in. So we're just going to add a little bit of this yellow, whatever this is here. And I guess we'll add, how about a little purple? All right. We're going to make this one a little bit purple or blue violet. That's what this is looking like. And I need to probably press the wax in there really, really well. Let me do another one right here. Because when the water gets in there, then whatever that color that is in the water will kind of fill in all the negative space there, the little holes, because it's not completely pressed in. That's where pressing it in with the white wax kind of helps, because you want to fill as much of that void in with the wax, and then the water will repel and go around. All right. So I guess we maybe cleaned our brush out too soon. Let's go ahead and do the leaf, because you'll see this comes together really fast. Now you could outline this with marker or the colored pencils. I'm going to take this green right onto this edge here. Okay. And the background is dry enough that it won't bleed into it too badly. It still may get in there and absorb, you know, with a little bit of the wet paper and the wet paint and move around a little bit, but it won't move around too much. All right, so this is kind of like more like a fun abstract leaf. I am going to paint this part here a little bit darker just because I can. Let me get a little water and get off of the colored pencil wax there. And I'm just going to take a little bit of water and whatever paint I have in here, left inside the brush, I'm just moving it towards the edge. All right. So while I have this, we're going to go ahead and do the stem and be finished with everything. And then our grand finale will be the red of the apple. Can you start with the red of the apple first? You absolutely can. And you know what? I just realized that you are so far away. You are so far away from that camera right there. Now, I like it when it soaks into the paper. I'm just bringing that around there just a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead, while I have that brown in here, I'm just going to go ahead with this black. Come on around here. Let me get a little bit more just on the tip. You see that? Kind of treating it like a marker where it's just on the tip there. So I'm just outlining this. Sometimes it's fun to paint everything. Oh, good gracious. I'm so sorry about the camera. And then sometimes it's nice to have the choice of using colored pencil and crayon and acrylic marker. There's so many things. I want you to try them all and see what you enjoy. And you, like me, will probably enjoy a little mixture of them all. Now, why am I doing black right now, knowing I'm about to wet this up? There's still some white paper showing. I don't want that unless I want it, and I don't want it right now. Doggone it, y'all. This is the ebbs and flows of the camera being so close to the paper. I wish there was a way I could zoom in, because my brush is about this height, and it's so close. All right. So let me clean up my brush, and let's go ahead and do the apple, and let's get this done in 2-3 minutes. Okay, I am giving this a drink of water, and I'm moving quickly, especially when you want to do the wet on wet, and that's what we're doing. And this is not expensive paper, so you want to keep that in mind. It is now like paper towel. And I did not have my paint soaking up. Let's go on over here. Now I am going close to the edge. All right, so let's go ahead, get a little bit more paint, a little bit more water, and let's hit it. So it's more yellow-orange up top. All right, let's just go ahead and get the baseline color together. And then we can add some subtleties. Now this paper is wrinkling up. And I said before that you could iron it, but we've got some crayons on here, so the wax may not allow you to do it. You may want to try it though, see what happens. I'm coming right close to the edge to make sure I'm eliminating all white. That'll make it more resilient. Not resilient, what do you call it? Make it more, what is the word? Now the word just went right out of my head. Anyway, the word will come. All right, so this is plain red. So you want some, what do you call it? Some modeling. So let's go on in here. Let's add a little bit of black back here. And I'm going to smooth that out here in just a moment. We're just going for it right now. All right. The paper is super duper wet. So we're modeling it just a bit. We're going to get a little bit more red to kind of help move this around. And it's just plain, simple fun. All right. Well, let's go back up here and capture some of this before it gets soaked in too deep. All right. Let's go ahead right here. And what's happening now is my paper is so full. I may have to do this in another step. You know what I'm saying? It is so wet right now, so it's so fragile. It may need a little bit of a break. And then we may have to come back and finish it with colored pencil on top. Now I'm going in, adding a little bit more paint pigment so it's not such a bright pinkish red. We're trying to make it feel like a nice three-dimensional. Okay, hopefully that's shaping up a little bit better. Let's get a little bit more paint. All right. So now, hopefully that is feeling more like a three-dimensional. All right. We're just going to smooth that part out. And anything that's kind of left over here, I would probably finish that up with a little bit of crayon after everything dries. So here I am. I'm coming back in here. I'm messing around with it. Oh, and it is 7 o'clock. I am messing around with it over here. Okay. I'm just kind of blending that in a little bit so it's not so harsh. All right, so we're just dabbing all of this over here because the paper is crying. It's too much. It's too much. So we're going on here straight color right here along that edge, and that helps that out. Now let me get out of here. It is Friday, September the 5th. And man, when I tell you, I don't know what happened to the summer. Now see, I can go back over here and work on this a little bit more. Yeah, we don't always have to finish it in one session. It would be nice, but it's not necessary. So we're going to stop here in about 2 minutes. But remember, I have a membership getting started in October for new painters or new again painters. So if you enjoy painting and you have not given yourself permission to do so, I want you to come and join my membership, right? Still haggling out a few things. Now see, this is where the fun stuff can get going down here. Let me get a little bit more of this blue because it's a little darker down here. And we're just going to play with that blue along this edge here. And then you can get in here and do what you want. Now there's more green down here. There's a lot that you could do. So I'm just making this a little bit darker blue down here to make it a little bit more rich. Because that's that mysterious dark corner over here. And I like that a lot. Okay. So we're just going to leave this alone for now. Let's see. Let's just see if we could just pull that out, add a little visual texture, make it a little sketchy, a little rough. All right, so we're going to call that a day. Okay, we are here. We are thankful. And we are done. Let's see here. Let me remove the paint cam. I wonder if it's going to cooperate with me. Let's see if I remove the paint cam, if it'll work. And it did. Yay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Something fun and funky, a little bit abstract. Trying to get this over here so that there we go. You get a little bit of the bottom. Okay. So that turned out well. Right. Yay. Super fun. And you can get in here and on top go over it with some oil pastel and have a good time. Have a really good time. But as you see, it's kind of drippy, and you may want to add some of that in there on purpose. A lot of artists do that kind of dripping. But yeah, you can get in there and have even more fun up in here. I just added a few of those elements that we saw in our reference shot. Just something fun. Now, I might go over that with a wet Q-tip just to lift off some of that paint. But then I can also take an oil pastel and color right over it. So this is Brene Flanoy signing off. This is Friday. I hope that you have had a great week, and I hope that you'll have a restful weekend. I am not making any promises about going live on Saturday. The week has been going pretty good. So this is the second week we've been going live. So we still may have a Saturday session, maybe once a month. I don't know. I need to sit down and map that out. It's back to school, and my brain is here, there, everywhere with back to school, going live, and then planning for the membership. And I have a paint party directory. And so we're trying to do all the things, but I don't want to do too much because I still want to do things in excellence. All right. Pray for you, girl. All right. Peace to you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for joining.